Hey, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binaries! Welcome to the traditional Heroes Lounge Playoff Draw Show, one of the biggest events on the esport calendar. I am your friendly neighborhood Latino Narsha, and will steer the ship during the next hours, that's right. I am back to host the show with the smooth flow we all know and love, not dead yet, but getting really old. Sure, I might be getting older, but we get fresh blood as production is run by Samu, so a shout out to him. He's one of the many people involved with tonight's show, cause I can't do this alone. Oh no. First, let's check in with a magical and mysterious voice that will be helping out throughout the night. And I've introduced this guy so many times, I'm completely out of ideas. So this time, he have prepared his own very special introduction. So take it away, Karis.
Good evening, Narsha, and good evening, viewers at home. You're watching the Heroes Lounge Playoff Draw Show. I'm Karis, and I'll be the mystical voice in the sky giving you the tour guide through Statisticity, where the local weather is raining stats.
Very nice to have you on the team once again, as of course Karis has absolute control over all the numbers that's really relevant to this draw in every way, and will help out with whatever we need. We are of course here to start the rounding out of the season 12 of the Heroes Lounge EU season. We're gonna draw the best teams from the last season into groups that will lead into playoffs and all of this good stuff over the next couple of months. We'll go through the dates right away, because the teams will over the next week head into group stages before the Rare Cup final will be on the 25th of July. The following day, the 26th of July, it's the finals for the Epic Cup, and then we finish strong on the weekend of 1st and 2nd of August with playoff finals for both the Legendary and the Mythic Cups. Then we'll have the traditional off-season fun. This year it will be an off-season tournament with the classic ARAM madness we have all come to love. Sign-up starts today and closes on the 16th, and you can enjoy the group stages all throughout the summer, from the 18th of July to the 14th of August, with the finals then on the 16th. Sign-ups for season 13 opens right about now. It closes on the 9th of August, so you got some time to get the band back together before the new season starts at August the 24th. Then enjoy maybe the most unlucky season yet, until we meet here again on the 8th of November for the season 13 draw show. This is some stuff to look forward to. But seeing how it's covered season 12 seasons now, Carrie, what's been special about season 12?
Well, I tell you, the thing that's been really special about season 12 for me is the amount of casting that's happened. The Heroes Lounge casters have shown out in force this season, and they've cast over 400 matches this season out of nearly 900 matches total played. So it's 45% coverage, which I think that's the biggest coverage we've had in years in terms of cast coverage. So I just want to do a quick shout out to all our Heroes Lounge casters who, they all do it as volunteers, and it provides a great experience for the viewers, great coverage, and it's great to see that level of support for the teams.
I think I noticed it was only one team that didn't get casted at all last season.
Yeah, that was Rip Hot's BlizzCon 2K19, and they sadly were the only team to get uncasted. I think there was a cast schedule for them, but it was the match was forfeited in the end, so they didn't get cast. But otherwise, it would have been 100% coverage, and that's great to see. In a tournament with 178 teams entering, and only one of them doesn't get cast, it just shows you play in Heroes Lounge, because you probably will get covered.
Very good stuff from the Heroes Lounge casters in season 12. And of course, me and Karis are going to be here all throughout the show, but we are not going to be alone. We are going to head right into the introduction of our two next guests, as we have, of course, experts in the specific divisions that we are drawing. Our first guest is a military man, and he's no mere foot soldier. I was planning on making jokes, but after seeing him on camera, I can actually feel the army discipline coming through the screen. So, yes, sir, welcome, Sergeant Johnny.
Welcome. Thanks for having me, Nasha. Thanks for having me on the show, and good evening to the rest of the community.
So, are you actually a sergeant?
No, I'm definitely not a sergeant. But
So what rank are you?
I'm,
In what part of the military?
uh,
Is your name even Johnny?
yeah, the name is Johnny.
Okay.
The name is Johnny. That's true. But the sergeant came from a long night. I was thinking about what can I add to Johnny, because as you can imagine, Johnny alone is not even available, and Johnny 1, Johnny 2, all the nicknames are gone. And yeah, after a long discussion with myself, I decided to just pick Sergeant in front, and yeah, it worked.
I see. Now, what have been unique about season 12 in your eyes?
Season 12 in your eyes, yeah, Karis just told about this. I was especially starting the casts by myself with a friend of mine of my team, Random Aggro, and we almost get the crown and covered, as Karis said, so many games, and it was such a fun to watch all these teams competing against each other, and the community itself is just so amazing. And yeah, season 12 was the best season so far for me.
Not bad at all. We hope it was the best season so far for many others too. Maybe especially our next expert too. He was explained to me as DK, so it could be Denmark, Don't Know, Dakika, Dark Knight, Dialectic Constant, or Dead Kennedys. I see now that it is Deadly Kitten that our Epic Cup expert has in mind for his nick. So yeah, excited to meet you.
Yeah, thank you for having me here. Yeah, Deadly Kitten is a random name I generated when I started playing Heroes of the Storm, and I just kept it forever and ever. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Great to have you here. You, of course, is going to be our special look into the Epic Cup draw that will follow after the Rare Cup. But of course, I have to ask you too, what in your eyes have made season 12 special?
I mean, as Karis and Sir Johnny already said, the casting was amazing. I've done some myself as well, and I really enjoyed doing them. But also with my team, our Exterminators in Division 4, we finally made the playoffs as a number 3, so very excited for that as well.
Very nice. Then we're gonna see more of you also in the draw, and of course on the screen as we go through the rest of the drawing here, because that is what we are here to do. Of course, Sergeant Johnny is going to be our first expert as we're gonna head into the Rare Cup. We're gonna look at some stats. Which is always a good way to get a grips of a division or two. And then, of course, Karis, what can you tell us?
Yeah, so first up tonight, we've got the Heroes Lounge Rare Cup. That's made up of teams from Divisions 6 and 7. There were 52 teams who entered these divisions at the start of the season. Of course, only 16 can qualify, and it has been a thrillingly close contest for some of those spots. The last team to qualify, in fact, was Crowd Pleasers, who got here in a spectacularly close tiebreaker match over level 35 Go Core, having matched with them on the match wins, and map score. So let's take a little look at the meta in this division, and you'll see something that's been a recurring theme across all divisions this season, the twin powerhouses here of Zool and Joanna. Now, here in the Rare Cup, they've tied for first on the most banned heroes, each of them having been banned in 201 games, or around 42%. Now, that's only half the story, of course, because while Zool isn't then actually played in many games, Joanna is actually picked almost whenever she isn't banned. So she's been picked or banned in 95%, that's 19 out of 20 Division 6 and 7 games. And as we go through the other divisions tonight, you'll see both of those heroes, Joanna and Zool, high in popularity for either bans or picks. So there's nothing really unusual about the meta just there so far. But what is unusual is the third place ban here. And you can see on your screen, and you've heard me say this in previous seasons, Nasha, but Rare Cup players, they love their salami. And in particular, they love to ban it. Kael'thas prioritized for bans here in Division 6 and 7 more than in any other divisions. But actually, here's the thing. When he does get picked up, he doesn't actually have a high win rate, only 42% in these divisions. Now, just quickly to look at the Battlegrounds, the Battleground choices in these divisions are very much in line with those across Heroes Lounge as a whole, with the top 3 Battlegrounds being Infernal Shrines, Volskaya Foundry, and Battlefield of Eternity. So nothing too unusual there. But would you like a random fact, Anasha?
Oh, I love random facts.
Well, on Braxis Holdout in Rare Cup games, the team that won the first Zerg went on to lose more often than they won. But get this, the team that took the first keep of the game went on to win the game 100% of the time in 20 games.
Ooh. Well, that is something. Maybe out of the ordinary too. And of course, the Kael'thas, poor guy, have been trying to trying to teach people social distancing for so long. Maybe that's why his win rate also goes down now that people have learned to keep their distance from each other. But yeah. Of course, a lot of interesting stats coming out from the Rare Cup. We'll see how they affect things going into the playoffs as we go. Of course, head over to the drawing next of the cups itself. I hope you are ready, Sergeant Johnny, for covering all of these the teams that we're going to see on our screens now. We can see the 4 pools. First of all, we of course are going to draw the first seeds that we can start off with right away. If our ball machine works, there have been some technical issues in the background here, but it does look like everything is in order as it's loading up. The old memes are living, still alive, and we're going to draw some balls. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, we're starting up with Beehive, the number 1 in Division 6, and they are so dominant throughout the entire series with a 100% win rate on Ragnaros, played by 1 player. And yeah, the first team that they want to see against them is the Stray Dogs, because they love to play against the Stray Dogs, and they're only afraid of their own mistakes.
A good start, as we see. Beehive going into Group B and the Stray Dogs into C. Of course, no big opponents for them just yet, but we have a couple of more teams that we're going to place. As we, of course, welcome all our 177 viewers that have tuned in tonight. Thanks for sticking with us as we see for Rom and Are
Yes.
going into Group D.
It's a new German team, who would have thought? It's für Rum und Ehre. And they didn't even expect to come so far, and they really like to play on Braxis Holdout. And they got a lot of respect for the number 1 in Division 6, Beehive. And we, especially my team, experienced a pretty heavy Bloodlust combo, so keep an eye on that.
Ooh, Bloodlust combo is also some spicy stuff. Hopefully they can have more success with that going through in the playoffs. In Group D, Oopsie Daisy, rounding out the last ones from a pool from the first seeds, Group A.
Yeah, Oopsie Daisy is also a very heavy game, heavy team, and the players are coming from all around Europe, Germany, Bulgaria, Sweden, Italy, and they're also afraid of Beehive, like nearly everyone else in this division. And this is also, they already played against them, and the affiliation comes from the team Beehive because they played very, very clear.
Interesting. It seems like they're a very strong team. We'll see if anyone can try to avoid them going into Group B. Who can avoid that? As In Panic from the second seeds are being drawn up next.
In Panic is definitely a very interesting team. The first game was against me and my team, and we won. And after that, they had a 7-game win streak, and they were coming back so strong. And they also, as the other teams, are afraid of Beehive, and they don't have a 5-man roster, so they unfortunately have always to sub someone in to fill up the team.
Oh, but still making the playoffs. That's pretty nice. Next is with Britwing going into Group A.
Britwing is also known for picking heroes that's not even in the meta. For example, they're pretty much picking Valera as the last pick, and Valera is just clearing houses wherever she can. Run into towers?
Yeah, running into Beehive.
Yeah, running into Beehive. And the captain told me a good day, anyone is capable to win. So they say, okay, it's it's good for us, and we nearly dropped because I was part of the team that beat them in the last game. So I'm pretty happy they still made it.
And of course, lastly, I sense a carry. The last team to be drawn for now, going into Group D.
Yes, the last place in this in the Division 6. Not even worried about anyone, and they lost against Furum and Error, and they definitely want a revenge. So I will have an eye on that.
Will be interesting to see if they can get it. We'll see who else they have to go up against, of course, as we continue the drawing with the third seeds, as they will bounce around on your screen in a second now. Of course, first, Just Cause.
Yes, the first place in Division 7, they are still undefeated, and they as well, they know Division 6, and they are as well afraid of Beehive. And yeah, it's also a German team, and we will see if they are able to make it up to the grand final.
Also seeing here on in the chat that Karis can say that the sirens you heard in the background was the fire brigade. We hope everything is fine with everybody as Unleashed is drawn next. Go into Group D.
Unleashed can be really surprised, because you don't want this team to get unleashed. They got 100% win rate on Greymane, and they only lost against Just Cause. Two of them also have the highest KDA during this season, and they are not afraid of anyone.
And then Quackamole managing to
Yes.
avoid beehives.
Yes, the Netherlands team is also a new team. I guess they played also against Just Cause, and the highlight of them was especially the last game. They were playing against Just a Tip, and in the last game they had a composition against them with Malfurion, Lucio, Morales, Lily, and the only damage dealer, Sergeant Hammer.
Oh, that sounds pretty disgusting. And then, yeah, Facepalm Tacticians going into Group B, rounding out that seeds.
Yes, Facepalm Tacticians, they didn't expect to come so far. They have actually no game plan. They said it to me. You can. They said, Johnny, you can tell the stream. Yes, we got no plan. We just enter the games and we just play. And yes, we also don't got a full team. We're just a sub show. And yeah, let's see how far we come.
Well, the opponent can impossibly understand your tactics if you don't understand them yourself. So yeah, why not? We'll see who gets to share a group with them as we draw out the four last seeds in the Rare Cup. As we see how do I pronounce this?
Yeah, that's pretty difficult. In English, I would say so easy, but in German, so easy. But it's an Hungarian team, and they gathered a lot of experience throughout the entire season, and they really like to start against Just Cause because they don't know, do they deserve the first place?
And next from Pool 4, a team that maybe got created during Corona, Home Office.
Yeah, the Home Office is a German team, and the players know each other very, very well. They're even living near, and they also got 100% win rate on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Good map to have a good win rate on for sure. The C team going into Group A.
Yes, the Z team, 4 from Egypt, 1 from Germany. They are a full team, and they also wanna play against Just Cause, but they even don't have any idea what's going on in Division 6, but I guess they will find out sooner rather or later. And they are not afraid of anyone. They just love to play, no matter who's the enemy.
That promise, that is a very good promise for the next stages of the tournament. And so is the name of our last team, the Crowd Pleasers, going into Group D.
Yes, the Crowd Pleasers, as Karis already said, had an insane tiebreaker match against level 35 Go Core. So they just made it into the playoffs. And yeah, etc. with a 100% win rate is also 9 times banned against them. So maybe that's a ticket to go against the crowd pleasers.
Yes, you say, why not just keep banning out the cow? We have all our groups, we have all our teams. That means we can go on to a more interactive part of the show, where of course everyone out there in the audience have a possibility to vote. You can vote for your teams, who you think will win the Rare Cup. We see the groups on the on screen, and you can see also how to vote. Deadly Kitten, I'm not sure if you know anything about these teams, but any group that stands out to you?
I mean, for me, definitely Beehive is one of the top contenders. They show a lot of strength in their competitions they run. So for me, that is definitely one of the potential winners of the Rare Cup.
Do you know any of the other teams at all?
I do not have a lot of experience with the Division 6 and 7 teams, so I wouldn't have a lot of information regarding that.
We'll see if they can change your mind by paying attention to the cup play, if they can pull some fun stuff out. But Johnny, is it
Yes.
Group B with Beehive that is the group of death, then, or is it kind of skewed in other ways?
I'm not so sure. I mean, all of the groups are very interesting, and you have to keep an eye on every group. But in my mind, Group D is the group that you need to take an eye, not only because of Unleashed, but also Farum and Era, and also the last team that slightly just came into the playoff, the crowd pleasers, are part of this group, and that will be a fun game, especially Farum and Era versus Unleashed.
That's definitely something to keep an eye out for then. It's going to be cool to see how all of these teams play out against each other and who can make it through to the group play stages and, of course, the final. As we see, the audience have Beehive as very popular too, but Just Cause is actually narrowing it out there in the votes.
It never lost any game, and let's see if this is continuing in the playoffs.
We'll see who gets the right. Is it the experts that believe in Beehive, or is it the audience and the people that believe in Just Cause? It's going to be exciting to see, of course, as the Rare Cup will play out. The final will be on the 25th of July, so don't you forget it. But that's only 1 out of 4 cups we have for you here tonight, as we're done with the Rare Cup. Next up is the Epic Cup, the next part of the Heroes Lounge draw show. And to do that, we, of course, need some more numbers. We need some more stats. We need them up on our screen, and we need carriers to talk about them.
Yes, we do indeed, Nasha. And the first thing we have to talk about with the Epic Cup is, of course, the hero pools. Now, if your eye wasn't drawn there already, take a look at the team logos in the biggest hero pool section. You'll see that all the biggest hero pools are from the same team, Sloth Sanctuary. That's because they made it their mission to play all 88 heroes in this season, and they succeeded. So massive props to them, and it's a shame they didn't qualify for the playoffs. In fact, Pitta of the Sloth Sanctuary had the largest number of heroes played out of anyone in this season of Heroes Lounge, at a quarter of the total available heroes.
And if we take that's extra impression taken into account, he's also most likely the most handsome man on this side of the planet.
Well, there you go. It's a double whammy for Pitta there. So credit to Pitta from Sloth Sanctuary there. If you take a look at, by the way, at some of the individually impactful players, you can see that one of the Johnny Sins butt buddies, Jenny Taylor, has the highest KDA in Divisions 4 and 5 with a super high average KDA of 19.63 across 22 games, much higher than the next highest of 13.94. And that's almost certainly been a contributing factor in the qualification success of JSBB, securing them 5th place in the division. Now, in terms of popular heroes, the meta, top 3 heroes for picks and bans in these divisions are the same as basically in every other division you'll see tonight: Joanna, ETC, and Rhaegar. That tank meta really dominated by Joanna and ETC. But interestingly, ETC's win rate only 47% in these divisions, when Joanna's is a whopping 58%. So she's definitely dominating the tank meta in the Epic Cup. There is one subtle difference in the Battlegrounds as well in these divisions. These are the only divisions where Battlefield of Eternity wasn't in the top 3 maps picked. That spot was taken from it by Dragonshire.
Good old Dragonshire there. Yeah, outing out the 2-lane map. So that's interesting for the Epic Cup to be a little bit different. Of course, always cool to see that Johanna, the walking potato, is also always as efficient as ever. But yeah, apart from that, do you find yourself happy with the numbers for the Epic Cup?
Yeah, I think this is really interesting to see that. I mean, the Dragonshire is the main difference there. Again, like Rhaegar dominating with that Bloodlust, ETC and Joanna dominating the picks and bans, and of course Azula is still in there as well. So nothing too surprising really. And I think we've seen more this season. We've seen more of a consistent meta across all the divisions, rather than maybe in previous seasons we've seen a bit more splintering.
Interesting, and we'll see if anyone can give Sloth Sanctuary a run for the money in the biggest hero pool division next year. But we have teams to draw, we have balls to play with, and they need to be placed into groups. Let's head on over and start drawing the Epic Cup.
Yeah, so although at the top of Division 4, we have Team Hands Up. Last season, they were one of the bottom teams in Division 4. They had some roster swaps, got a coach in to help them, and they finished at the top of the board, so it really worked well for them. Overall, the teams have been very strong. I myself am from the team Owl Exterminators. We have played some of the other teams. Very close matches, very close series as well. So I'm really hyped for what's going to happen in there.
Yeah, it will be exciting to see. We will have, it might be your ball that comes up first, as we're going to start drawing for Pool 1, of course. Let's see how that unfolds as the balls are loading up one more time to help us figure out the groups. And here we go. I was hoping to see the name of whoever team was being drawn first there.
And it is
there
Hands
we go.
Up.
It is
Yeah,
Hands
so
Up.
as I said, Hands Up, topping the charts, doing very well. They love to play Infernal Shrines with a special strategy with a main tank Diva play, which is very interesting and unusual. So look out for that.
Oh, cool. Then
Team number 2, Team Super Kulaks. It's a Hungarian in-house tournament team that started, and that's where they started. They played some Stormy games together, and that's how they formed together. They love to play Volskaya Foundry, and Maiev is one of their top picks.
And interesting to hear that they have an in-house scene there at all. That's definitely something. And then, of course, hugely exaggerated team, Owl Exterminators. Or no, I'm kidding with you.
Yes, my own team right here, being drawn. Very excited to play in Group D right here. I think we have a good chance of passing it through the group stages, so I'm really excited to play in there. Also, it's 2 seasons in a row that we barely missed the playoffs. Last season, we were 8th and didn't make it, and the previous season we were 9th and didn't make it. So that was quite unlucky for us, but still made it work this time.
Good to have you here this season at least. And then, can I get an ARC, or do you want more going into Group B?
Yes, Encore, very strong team as well. They love to play main tank Blaze. Also enjoying a lot of Volskaya Foundry in there, having it picked themselves multiple times. Very strong team.
Cool. That is the 4 first groups. For one last time, I need you to roar as we're going to head over to the next pool of teams. We're going to have more balls bouncing across the screens as we start out with Johnny Sins Butt Buddies.
Yes, Johnny Sins Butt Buddies. a very strong team. They started the season 5-0 without dropping a single map. So really good from them. They also have the highest KDA player on there, who prioritizes Malfurion and Deckard highly with 9 picks each. And they also have an interesting offlane Stukov they like to run, which is a spicy pick we might see from them.
Oh, always interesting to see the unique picks coming out from teams as we're going to head into the playoffs. How about the Semi-Crostellans?
Semi-Croustillant, yes. They were a very strong team, losing to my team, of course, and the number 2 team, Team Super Kulaks. They love to play Infernal Shrines and Tomb of the Spider Queen, picked it 4 times each, so they're looking really strong.
Oh, and they have their favorite maps that I hope their opponents will take notice of. And then another national team, it seems, as we're going to draw the Trying Dutchman.
Yes. Trying Dutchman. Actually, they're lying to us. It's only half of the roster is Dutch. So
what?
Yes, it's unbelievable.
Get them out of here.
I want my money back.
They love to play Tyrael with 11 picks so far this season, and with a 73% win rate, followed by Jaina and Deckard, both with 10 picks and 6 wins. And then the final team in Division 4 that made it, Jaina the Frost Mage, they barely out-edged Cobb and Tameda, securing their 3rd playoff run this season, so congratulations to them. Having played Infernal Shrine 7 times with an 86% win rate is something to look out for against them. And Raynor is also very high priority for them.
Yeah, you mentioned they had been. This is their 3rd playoff in a row.
Not in a row.
No.
Jaina the Frost Mage is a team that has existed since season 4, so very experienced players there. And they made it. So this season, I think they did not make it last season, but the 2 seasons prior to that, they did.
I'm pretty sure I've seen their name pop up on my balls before. So we are going to draw the next round of seeds. We're going to start off with C-Link.
Yeah, TSEA Link is a Dutch student organization. They're the only team that has won 8 games in Division 5. And their favorite maps are All Track Pass with 100% win rate, and Tomb of the Spider Queen with 4 picks and 100% win rate. ETC and Lunara being 2 of their most favorite heroes with 8 and 7 respective picks. Look out for those.
Mm-hmm. And next up we have To Shreds, you say, from Pool 3.
Yes. They had a roster change midway through the season. Their offlaner stopping, and they brought in a new healer, and it's been working for them apparently, because they made it through.
Good for them. And then Murloc Army.
Yes. Their name is kind of rude because they haven't actually played Murky this season at all, which is kind of disappointing in my opinion. But they have a Chromie that has been played 9 times with an 89% win rate, and a Sergeant Hammer pick 4 times with a 75% win rate.
Oh, that could be spicy.
Definitely.
And lastly then, the Sops, of course, heading into the only available group, Group D.
Yes. Also, their favorite map is Volsky Foundry. Their favorite heroes are looking like Stukov, Rexar with an 86% win rate, and it has also been banned 9 times against them. So probably we'll see some more of that.
We'll see what they can pull off in the coming playoffs. I'm sorry about that. I got a little bit distraction about all the talk about my tiny balls in the chat. It's a long story. Let's just say, yeah, okay. Get it explained by an elderly or something. Okay, we have still the 4 last teams into the Epic Cup to go. Let's see what groups they will end up in. First out, the Rena clan.
Rena clan, yes. They love to play Towers of Doom. They have 5 picks on it, 100% win rate. They look very strong. Greymane, the dog, is also very strong for them. 10 picks with an 80% win rate. And their captain messaged me saying, hopefully One of their players were not oversleep this time, as he did in the playoffs in season 11.
Oh yeah, we hopefully they can fix their alarms for this season as they go into Group A there. And then we have Zol.
Yes, coming in 6th place in Division 5. They've also had a perfect first half of the season, winning 5 matches 2-0. And one of them being the third team to Shreds You Say. Johanna is very strong for them, and they have unusual Brightwing picks 5 times and all successful.
Then so far the first team into Group A, the second team into Group B. Let's see about the third pick, Team No Vision.
No Vision. It's actually their first season together. So directly making it to playoffs, very well done by them. They only lost to Murloc Army, to Zul and the Sops. So they came in a good position. Their favorite heroes consist of Johanna with 12 picks and Maiev with 10 picks.
Managed to avoid those two teams also as they went into Group C. And then, of course, we'll put Sloth High Lords in the much sought after Group D.
Yes, Sloth High Lords barely making it in. They've been looking pretty strong this season, with Johanna priority, of course, like everyone, and they like to play Infernal Shrines.
They do, like very many, like to play Infernal Shrines. That's they
Definitely.
will round out the draw here for the Epic Cups. We can see all the groups on the screen in front of us, and that means we can also start to vote. In a few seconds, it should show up on your screen right about now. There are all the teams. That's instructions for how to vote. And Sergeant Johnny, do you see a strong group here? Do you have any insight you would like to share?
I don't have any deeper informations throughout the Division 4 and 5. I casted some games, but didn't follow any team so far, especially the one of my clan, Antimeta, who nearly made it into the playoffs. But unfortunately, 9th place is not enough. And yeah.
Not good enough. That reminds me, I haven't seen a single COB team so far in the first 2 draws, and there's always a COB team in season 1. So yeah, we'll keep a lookout for them in the next 2 draws, of course. But okay, as we see the votes are coming in, Deadly Kitten, Group of Death, which one is it?
It has to be Group A, with Hands Up being there, top of the division. Johnny Sins Bud Buddies looking very strong. They won Division 5 last season. And then there's Two Shreds You Say, which had a very good performance, and Renai Karan as well. Definitely one of the harder groups out there.
That will be the group to keep an eye on then for sure as the playoff will continue over the next couple of weeks. We'll see John Cena's Butt Buddies being very popular with the people, dropping a little bit under 17% there, then followed by TSE, a link, it seems. No, the Hands Up on 13.6%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Sins Bud Buddies is definitely a fan favorite. Also very good friends of mine, so that's very fun. But we beat them in the regular season, and we'll definitely do that again.
How do you feel about your 10% support from the people?
I mean, there should be an extra 0 behind it. Should be 100. Not sure how. There might be some technical difficulties there.
Yeah, unfortunately. There we have them. We have the groups, we have the drawings for the Epic Cup, and we are about halfway. But do remember that, of course, all these teams will play out the games now over the next couple of weeks. We have heard a lot about which teams to look out for, so make sure you check out the calendar for when all of the action will go down up until the Epic Cup final on the 26th of July. That was the 2 first cups we had for you today. That also means that we unfortunately have to say goodbye to Sergeant Johnny and Deadly Kitten, but I hope it was as good for you as it was for me.
Yes, do you want to start, DK?
Okay, that's fine. I'll start. Yeah, it was really fun. Looking at the numbers for sure. Seeing where my own team would end up. Group D, I'm pretty happy with the group we've got. So I'm happy to play it. Thank you for having me, Narsha, and good luck with the other 2 draws.
Thank you, Sergeant Johnny.
Yes, thanks for having me as well. And it was very much fun to watch all of the groups coming together. And now I get an idea which team I can follow or maybe even cast. And for you, Deadly Kitten, the best of luck for you in the playoffs. Are you fine with your group?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I think we have a pretty good group. I feel confident with what we have.
I'll tell you what, guys, before you go, I've got a quick quiz question for you.
Yes.
There's only one hero who didn't win a single game in Divisions 4 and 5 this season. Can you name it?
My mind directly went to Gazlo. That's what I'm gonna bet on.
Sergeant Johnny, Nasha, any bets for you?
Let's say Probius.
Oh yeah, Probius is pretty shit.
Yes, Probius.
Well, it was in fact Gazlo. Gazlo was the correct answer.
Oh, it was Gazlo.
So he was played.
I knew it. I
believe he was played exactly once, and that was a loss. So there you go. But just so people know, May was not playable in these rounds of Heroes Lounge, so she wasn't counted in the statistics.
She will be available in the playoffs, if I reckon correctly.
And just to balance it out a little bit, I did play in the off-season tournament, and we did play Gaslow, and we did win. So at least that was something. But that was all we had for the 2 first drawings. We are done with the Epic Cup. We are done with the Rare Cup. We are done with Sergeant Johnny, and we're done with Deadly Kitten. But we are not done with you, my lovely audience, as we're going to go into a break where we're going to show off some of the reason this is all so much fun. That's right. Also this season we have prepared a highlight reel for you. I'm saying as I had anything to do with it except for introducing it. Please enjoy it. We're going to have a small break, then we're going to be back with the Legendary Cup and the Mythic Cup. So stay tuned and enjoy the show.
Goes out onto the garage. He's a little bit caught out of position. Luciosum comes out, trying to keep him alive. Wrestler and Guris onto the Rhaegar. It's not enough, and Garrosh falls down. Bullet comes out. Ixen falls extremely low. The stun from Imperius, actually. One more auto attack. No. No. Oh, okay, that's disgusting. How Ixen lives there is a crime. Valkyrie comes out, making sure there's a kill. Yeah, it's a 5-man team wipe, guys.
Solid Penrith being used here, jumping onto the backline, getting the root of the Gleaming, is dropping quite low. But he's getting out big marshal, but is immediately interrupted by the rain of vengeance, and then pulling out Sony, making sure he is safe. Turns the fate coming in now, hitting the backline, hitting 210 and trouble. There's a big leap, and now the light bomb as well. On to 4, the Ning will get rid of the she does. First kill on the rain, now make it 2 as BPC falls. The face in a lot of trouble, but no. He goes down. In the meantime, Chen and Anna able to take down the Liming though with a nice fleeter, and the spell damage reduced from Chen, but Chen falls as Sonya is on the chase and takes him down.
Nicely done. That grenade holding off a lot of healing for just enough time, but Mono was able to pop the healing after the grenade wore off. And lovely Ring of Frost, but I think the sleep has just saved Samasa as well as the debilitating dart. Very nicely done here from the red team. The Nana goes off onto the Kel'Thas. Like it is, though, is going to be falling to this poison Nova. Oh no, Samasa is keeping everybody up. Oh, what a fight this is. Stoutfinger looking to be able to maybe get out, but the Mosh Pit goes down while Anna goes down to the Grey Mane, and Kel'Thas is picked up as well. Very nicely done here from the blue team. Able to get a 3-0.
Sonya was in a really nice position for a counter engage, but we see I thought they're just backing off.
Ufu in a bad positioning there.
Ooh, nice stun by Vala.
And
insane leap, and the APOC is gonna seal the deal. Really nice done by Fed Avatar.
Goes deep onto Garlander, onto that Johanna though. Decker Kane able to heal him out, but the root coming out though. Can they get the kill? It's Jehodo, the stun, the unstoppable, the pull. No Skip Ninja being pulled out. The Genitalia asleep though. Can they get the kill onto Cassio? They really need the kill onto Cassio. Cassio falling low, 400 health. Delicate sliding in, trying to peel for his team though. Hodo going in, sliding deep onto No Skip Ninja. Falip with a light bomb though, stunning out onto Garlander. Garlander not with that indestructible. Tries to heal himself up, gets the stun, gets the condemn, but it's Whitehacker that goes down. It's Genitalia that goes down. It's Johanna that goes down. It's Blaze that goes down. It's a disaster.
The ECC, but it's still an ECC. So if he just walks out, he's fine. Big power slide, then the mosh pit. There's Cassie coming with the damage enough. Make it 1, and then it goes down. Big silence and slow from the Stukov. As free kill.
Samu tries to catch on to Azul, who throws out the Poison Nova, causing massive damage onto the backline, but Senor Burrito falling pretty low. The Cataclysm comes through. The Horrify isn't available to interrupt the mosh pit, and it's caught onto 3 members. The 3 members on the deck. Deathwing and Joanna trying to run away. They probably will be able to, even with that Lucio speed giving Greymane the chance to run up to the gate. Like it is, will walk away, but still that's 3 members and a level 20 secured for the blue team.
Yeah. Ooh, the hacker. Ooh,
Goodbye, the hacker.
Time stop, Crummy.
Oh,
Yes, good
yeah.
job. Very well done.
MVP Crummy.
And there we go, power slide to wave of force, and goodbye Chen. That is the reason for the main. So, and I'm getting chased a little bit there by the teaming. That's none of us coming in as 1. There's more kill as China goes down, make it 2 as the Valor falls and Medivh dropped by Sylvanas and Lyric in the meantime as 1. This will become the top lane as we see them much bleeding on and doing it as a 5-man team wipe from the of Lodria.
Li Ming is just catching the... But she's pretty late, but we see Stage Dive coming in, he's going for the steal! Oh, but there he is going in with the gust, but Bunker was there to dodge the gust, and now comes in the team of Paper and Lady, and they clear the field as they kill the Sonya, the Falter, the Reyna, and the team wipe coming in as the resets kicked in for Li Ming.
There to interrupt that after he had just already started. Oh, and in comes the mosh pit now, because they'd only gone on short cooldown, and Blaze is inside it with a blizzard on top. He falls, and Greymane wants to chase onto Thrall, but Staubfinger's a Thrall. He's not going to fall so easily, and Spieler Willie's going to fall down. No, he's not. He gets away with his life, and his Malfurion, who goes down from the flanking Jaina damage. Now it's flanking Jaina, wants to drop that Ring of Frost, but Dahaka dodges it with a burrow. Isolation mid-jump from Dahaka onto Greymane, and Greymane's been taken to school by Samu, who plays with his big isolation, and now maybe Samu on the Dahaka is going to start turning this around by himself, and start chasing as 3 onto the Ana as well. It's a miraculous turnaround here from Heal Me Maybe to secure themselves this Punisher, and of course they've still got pressure in that top lane on the core.
Finds his way very deep in the enemy team. Q in and mosh pit on 5 people. Holy sh! This fight is broken. We do see the frontline killed, and Johanna finally enough being the only one alive in the end of all of that, but I don't think that's going to continue for much longer, and with that, random aggro goes randomly aggro, and so will his team getting an ace and possibly being able to finish this game right here and then.
Welcome back Welcome back, everybody. I say for the third time, as I think we are pretty much live. Thank you for staying with us. And I'm sorry for the small delay, but in a world where Kanye West can run as president, we can take 2 minutes to go to the bathroom. We have done the Rare Cup, we have done the Epic Cup, but we are not done. Before we can all go to bed tonight, we need to know which teams goes into what groups for the legendary and the mythic playoffs. But how do you feel this is going so far, Karis? Are you doing good there?
I'm doing good. I'm still getting rained on by stats, as earlier mentioned. Yeah, it's been an interesting draw so far, and we've seen actually, if you look to the poll results, it's often not kind of the predictable top teams in the divisions that are winning the polls. Okay, it tends to be they do well, but there's also usually contenders from the lower divisions as well. So it does show that the playoff format of Heroes Lounge is wide open to contenders, at least in the minds of the audience. We'll have to see, of course, how that pans out into reality in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and it makes me even more excited to keep following the playoffs on streams over the next couple of weeks to see who was actually in the right. Was it the experts and the statistics, or was it the people and what they feel in their hearts? We're going to find out what our two next experts think, as we go, of course, have one for the Legendary Cup and we have one for the Mythic Cup. And first, I was planning an introduction for our commentator on the Legendary Cup, but then I got kind of nervous for being like mean, because his dashing personality and striking looks comes into stark contraction to his username. So at least we see you and we welcome you, Transparent.
Oh, thank you very much, Nasha. It's great to be here on the Draw Show day. Finding out which of these Legendary Cup teams are going to be making into which groups, especially as I'm going to be involved and I need to know who my opponents are going to be in the next 4 weeks.
Yeah, we see it already in chat. They have huge hopes that you will be able to influence the stream and the drawing in any way. Unfortunately, the only way to influence the drawing is to donate to the channel or sub to it. So yeah, unfortunately, outside of that. But Transparent, you've been around for a little while, and what do you feel has been unique about season 12 of the Heroes Lounge?
I think season 12 has we've obviously had some external consequences of the coronavirus being a bit about. So we've had a sort of an influx of teams just generally across the board of all the divisions. And Division 2 got nicely filled out again with some real old favourites. Curso coming back as well as Nexus Junkies, which has sort of been a Div 2 staple for quite a while here. So it's good to have these sort of standard teams that have been around for so long, and they're just the Div 2 community knows sort of each other so well now. So I think it's a nice sort of closed loop of teams, which has made this Division 2 really special in season 12.
Yeah, interesting to hear. And it once again reminds me that for the past 11 seasons, I'm sure I've seen a COB team in the playoff drawings for every season so far. But so far, none for season 12. But of course, we have another expert that might shed some light onto just that. For a fourth and final guest, I assume that he might be an actor in the Escape and Illusions. We might find out as we go, but we have to say go go gaga wah, and welcome to Baby Houdini.
Oh, thank you, Nasha. Thank you for having me here. Sadly, I can't pull any illusions or tricks on you, but what I can give you is hopefully some great insight into Division 1, which is very, very strong this season. The top 8 teams seem really good, and I think it's going to be a blast watching the games going down in both the playoffs and in the Mythic Cup.
Very interesting. Let me see some baby rage for Baby Houdini in the chat there. It's already started. Very good to see, and very nice to have you here on the show with us, as we all have a little bit of good in our glasses. I have to ask you too, of course, what do you feel has been made season 12 of the Heroes Lounge unique?
Obviously, no COB teams, as you said, right? None across the board. Apart from that, I think the rise of a lot of returning players and just teams overall have been competing in Division 1 for 2 seasons now. And I can really feel like the teams that have pulled themselves together and stayed together from last season have become really, really, really strong this season. So I think that's probably the only thing that there's not. Obviously, there are a lot of new teams in Division 1, but a lot of the old, really, really great teams are staying here and performing even better than they did last season.
Yeah, it's of course always thing, team synergy and stuff like that. It does build over time and should lead to good results. So good to have that confirmed. We'll of course see if these good old teams can take it all in the end or if we'll have new fresh blood on the throne. We'll find out. But first, we need to look at our statistics before we can even start to touch the balls, just as in real life. So take it away, Caris, as you have prepared once again lots of numbers for us.
Yes, but before we whip out those numbers, I just want to say a quick thank you to some of the people who've subscribed to the Heroes Lounge channel whilst watching. That's Feng Shen, Penelope, Heroes at School, and of course, the legendary Transparent himself, who is in fact on the show, subscribing to himself. All the subscriptions do help Heroes Lounge operate, and it's greatly appreciated. So, Legendary Cup, Divisions 2 and 3. So, let's take a look, interestingly, at some of these key players. So, Sonic there with a top KDA, 16.53 average KDA, and that's for Mod Level Rising. Mod Level Rising been a really dominant team in Division 3 that I'm sure you'll hear more about from Transparent in a second. So definitely a strong player there, Sonic, for them. Now, I should mention about the KDA, because some players might be thinking, KDAs, are they going to be generally higher in the lower divisions? I have to tell you, across all the divisions we've seen today, the average number of takedowns in a game is actually around the same. So we shouldn't see too much movement there. In fact, they're all between 21 and 23 average takedowns in a game across all the divisions. So that's something perhaps slightly surprising. Back to the hero pool meta. I mean, look, Joanna and ETC dominating that tank meta again on the most picked heroes. This time, they're joined by Greymane, and this is a big difference actually between divisions 4 and below and divisions 3 and above. That third spot was mostly held by Reyna. So Joanna and ETC consistent throughout. It was mostly Reyna in the lower divisions. In the upper divisions, it's mostly Greymane who's getting a lot of prioritization as a picked hero there. Bazul still banned, Rhaegar still banned consistently, Anna creeping in there as well with 208 bans. So definitely a subtly different meta from what we saw in the lower divisions, but definitely roughly in line.
Especially Greymane, I like to see up here. Such a versatile overall hero, very good and early in the draft, and as we go up to the higher divisions, it's good to see him rising in popularity for sure.
Absolutely, but I should add, I mean, again, slightly surprisingly, his win rate is not above 50. It's 45.6% in these divisions, the Greymane. So definitely a popular hero, but maybe when he's let through, it seems like teams probably have the answer to him.
And he is not Jimmy. It's a
huge
drawback.
That is true. Well, as clearly the lower division teams felt that's why they prioritized the Jimmy over Greymane, it seems. But yeah, Greymane, definitely popular at those upper divisions, but we'll see how his win rate fares.
We will definitely see that as we go along in the group stages and the playoffs that will happen over the next couple of weeks. But we, of course, need to know what teams go up against each other. And to do that, we need to once again get those balls out. We need to funnel them around and bounce them and put them into where they belong. Which we will figure out in a very few seconds. We're going to start drawing from the first seeds as normal for the Legendary Cup, and Transparent. Just before everything starts, what do we look out for here?
So, I mean, Div 2 is a real... There's such a variety. All the teams in all 8 of the slots are sort of... Anyone could win it, really. We're going to be looking at Band of Brewers first, obviously, here. My team, myself, and we're going to be going straight into Group C. I've always said Group C is the lucky group. But yeah, Band of Brewers, we did lose to Jopama Juju, who were 7th, I believe, overall. So they'll be looking to try and claim this back later, maybe hoping that Jopama Juju's in the same group to have a little bit of a tussle. But yeah, going forward, now we've got Complex instead, who also rose up at the end of the season rather than sort of having a little bit of a weaker start. They'll be going into Group A. They've had a few friends in Div 2 as well, good friends with Band of Brewers and Hongoose Criminals, but they're hoping to have Nexus Junkies in their group because they felt like that was probably the best match they had, and they'd like to have a repeat.
Oh, no, it's good to hear that there are friendship across the team lines also in Division 2. And then 3K White.
Yeah, 3K White, very excited about May coming into the playoffs, something they want to have a little bit of flex coming out. They'd like to see Logia in their group from Div 3, so they're keeping their eye on both divisions here. And as they go into Group D, they'll have to wait patiently to see who comes out. But they're very grateful to have been casted so many times this season as well. That was something they'd particularly like mentioning.
Well, 3K White also, I should add, they had the player with the second highest KDA in these divisions, which was Oplita. So just after Sonic was Oplita for the high KDA. And they're playing for 3K White. So definitely a strong team.
Yeah, and once again, if you want to be covered in a real esport way, join the Heroes Lounge. Labonco then will go into Group B as their only available option.
Yeah, Labonco is a nice sort of French team. They're very flexible tank-wise. That's something to watch out for them. They're sort of one of the lower priorities of their draft. So teams going against them in the group really should watch out for them. But as they're the sort of the only teams they lost against were 3K and Band of Brewers. So they're certainly thinking, the rest should be easy now that they're not going to be in a group with either of them.
Yeah, they have a good starting point at least, taking the first top-seeded spot in Group B. But they will, of course, have some opponents that can't wait to put them in their place. First, we're going to see if it's Curso that will be their opponent.
Yeah, Curso, one of those teams that's back after a break, a big standard of Division 2 in the past. They'll be happy to see Water Dragons. They are happy to see Water Dragons also make it, as they're both Finnish. Their secret strat, I asked teams for secret strats of what they're going to bring to playoffs, and Curso were the only team to tell me something, and they were going to bring Asmodan back in more, which is something they're known for already, to be fair. They have a higher prioritization on Asmodan and Lunara, but I'm sure we'll see that more in the group stages.
I like it. Looking forward to some Asmodongs from Curso. And then Nexus Junkies.
Yeah, Nexus Junkies, they wanted to give a shout out to Curso because it was their first game ever in Lounge was against Curso, and so they're looking forward to it again, but they'll have to wait and try and get into the finals if they want that to happen. But yeah, they've been around since Season 7, Nexus Junkies, so the only team they're yet to play in Division 2 were Band of Brewers, so they could be another team to knock Band of Brewers off the top.
Keep saying no to rehab, Nexus Junkies, and keep playing in the Heroes Lounge. Jupa Mamajuju!
Yeah, Jopa Majuju, they're very excited as well. I seem to have got my stats mixed up a bit, but yeah, they're really nice. They took a game off. They were the only team to beat Band of Brewers first. They've got a few little pocket picks. That's always something to watch out for from them. I've got a little bit of Samuro Essence, which is always a fun game to watch. So if you can catch any games in the Legendary Cup playoff groups, look out for ones with Jopa Majuju.
And a very interesting name for the casters to pronounce, of course. And lastly, Water Dragons.
Yeah, Water Dragons. Yeah, fantastic team. Another one of the Finnish from the Finnish community. Yeah, they weren't going to tell the secrets. They're holding something back, and they said they've got something up their sleeves, but they're not willing to share it with me just yet. Mainly because it could be an opponent of mine, but they also didn't quite want to share with the whole stream. But yeah,
they'll
another
tell you
team.
as soon as they've defeated you, transparent.
Maybe that.
They will point it out for you. And maybe only then in Suomi, who knows. Anyways, moi moi, and congratulations to Water Dragons. That's going to go into Group B. That makes us halfway in the Legendary Cup drawing. Any group that stands out as more difficult than the others so far?
Yeah, I'm just missed that group's there, but definitely I think Group 1 looked like a real hard one to crack into. I think it was Complex and Jopa Majuju. That's going to be a really tough group there. So Mold Level Rising going into Group D. Mold Level Rising have sort of another group of returners here. Gabriel, sort of fairly well known for previously sort of being in sort of Div 2 in the past, with Sonic, the top KDA player. They'd like to shout out Triggered Newbies as their rivals for the group, so they'll be hoping for a group with them, although I believe they're good friends underneath it all.
And then, of course, the very caster-friendly name, Untitled Academy.
Yeah, Kundalini Academy. They have had a strong first season. It's their first season coming into Lounge, and they're sort of really enjoyed it a lot. They want to be in with Labonco, which unfortunately they have not made it into their group, but I think they're sort of teams they know quite well there.
But is it the real academy?
We'll have to wait and see how they do.
Lastly,
Yeah, but-
LOGIA.
Yeah, another one of those top teams from Division 3. These last three, Mold Level Rising, Akunda Academy, and Logia, were all on the top end of Division 3. And I would say they're probably all Division 2 standard players. This is going to give a really tight group stages for the Legendary Cup this season.
And then it's only Group B left for Dingsitas.
Yeah, Dinks and Tas, they're one of the teams that took down Mold Level Rising. So equally powerful if they, on their best day perhaps, they could take down all of Div 2, especially as, they have Mantis, who's one of the big sort of flex players, top flex player in Legendary Cup, and they like to pick a lot of Lucio. So that's something to watch out for them, and I know that Karis is a big fan of Lucio, as am I. Something that's really good. But yeah, so that's given us the groups there, and so far, I would say Group A is still that group that looks the scariest to me.
By the way, I just wanted to say about Lucio. I am a big fan of Lucio, and he's got a 57% win rate so far in Divisions 2 and 3. So definitely looking like a positive pick for teams. Definitely one to look out for, but not perhaps as surprising as the Asmodan win rate, which is over 70%. Which team were you saying, Transparent, that likes to pick that Asmodan?
Curso.
Curso, yeah. Oh, yes.
Curso.
Well, it's currently. I don't know about their specific win rate with Asmodan, but across the whole division, 72.7%. So actually, watch out for that. I mean, people joke about Asmodan, but you've got to be able to handle it.
Yeah, Curso have an 80% win rate with Asmodan over 6 games, which is a sizable amount still.
Yeah, suddenly he has racked up on those stacks and is a terrible guy to deal with in the late game. So yeah, let's keep having an eye out for Asmodan, as we are going to draw our 4 last teams first. It's not even close.
Yeah, not even close. After I grilled them with some interview questions, they said there was nothing important to mention. So they're keeping their cards very close to their chest. They're a very heavy meta team, but have a large amount of Chromie bans against us. So something really... Chromie can be one of those heroes that's incredibly annoying. And if it's something that they're well known for, those teams in Group C should watch out for.
And I do really hope they have a guy named Klaus on their team. On to Triggered Newbies.
Yeah, Triggered Newbies were very thankful. They said they've had a great fun time this season. They want to shout out Naughty Otters, who didn't quite make it. One of the team that Karis is in as well. But they've done a lot of scrimming with Mold Level Rising, and so they're looking out for them. And they've gone into the group with them. So that should be a fun group there for the Division 3 teams.
It should be a lot of fun for both the teams and the viewers, for sure. Only chance then, the second to the last team.
Yeah, only chance here, sort of filling out the bottom bit of Division 3. They've had a couple of 2-1s with the top teams, though. So it's something that, although they're on the bottom end of this scale, they've really taken it as a challenge to beat these top teams from Division 3. So I would still watch out for them. As I say, the quality of teams this season seems to be incredibly high. They've gone into that Group A, which did look already quite scary, and with them in, that sort of really fills out the strength of Division 3.
Oh, it does seem like one group is starting to stand out as the one to look out for. And lastly, a team that you're gonna pronounce yourself.
Yes, this team has done incredibly. They've sort of just clawed. They managed to just get in at the bottom of the league of the playoffs, and they're really excited to come into the playoffs for the first time. Druzimina Polessi. That's as good as I'm going to do, unfortunately. But yeah, they wanted to see a few teams that have. They've seen a few teams, obviously, that are going into the playoffs that have won against them beforehand, so they're a little bit scared, but they're hoping that they can still bring their best.
What I kind of think might be a Polish team or something. They're filling out Group B and is the last team in the drawing. That means we can go on to let the people have their saying by voting. We're gonna get that up on the screen for you this very second with instructions as to how to do it. And Baby Houdini, you have any insight at all into what you see on the screen in front of you?
A little, right? So obviously I know Band of Brewers as well, Transparent, a very dear friend of mine who owes me a few points in Storm League after last night. But Complex as well, some of my good friends. Really, really like this top of Division 3 looks so strong. Also a lot of I noticed a lot of, not a lot of, but for instance, Onijan coming in Division 3 this season, used to be Division 2, so those guys are definitely something to look out for. Loki as well, played against them, were super good. And also I want to give a huge shout out, by the way, to HGC, Hunk Goose Criminals, who couldn't make it to playoffs, but had an amazing season where they finished, second seed, I think?
Yes, yeah.
In Division 2. So big
Yep.
shout out to those guys as well. Apart from that much, as you said, the Group A looks that looks tough. So yeah, and probably a lot of upsets coming up as well, with these Division 3 teams looking super strong. So I don't think it's that one-sided for the for Legendary Cup as it might have been.
So apart from Group A kind of standing out as the worst one, Transparent, what do you feel here looking at the final results?
Yeah, Group A probably the worst one, and then Group C and D also really tough teams in there. Group B is going to be a big mix, though, I think, as well. Arguably, sort of Lebonko and Water Dragons, the weaker teams of Division 2. But similarly with Dingsitas and Dwitzov, sort of on the lower end of their pools of Division 3. So that will be an also equally exciting one, and sort of we'll have some good games with tough competition inside them. But yeah, I think Group C, Band of Brewers, obviously the top team to beat. Best team in my eyes, always.
It does seem like the people agree with you there, actually, to a pretty large degree, with 20% of the votes coming in for the Band of Brewers.
Yeah, Band of Brewers, and I see Gabriel in chat shouting me out to say that he's going to see us in the final from Mold Level Rising from Group D. So yeah, all the teams coming at us as well. So we may well have the popular vote, but I think a lot of the teams have got our number as well.
Yeah, of course. We see Complex too with a 12%, Mold Level Rising with 10, and also Dingsitas with 12. So there are also other favorites out there. But yeah, with these exciting other groups and so many teams bringing out so many exciting strats, it's going to be very cool to see the Legendary Cup group stages play out over the next couple of weeks. Just remember to pay attention to the calendar on the website heroeslounge.gg to get information about when all this good stuff is going down. And of course, 1st of August, it's the Legendary Cup final. So keep the date in your calendars. We have one more drawing to go. That's where Baby Houdini really is gonna shine, aren't you, Baby?
Hopefully. It is at least the most exciting one for me, obviously. Playing in Division 1 myself, I've faced a lot of these teams, and I know they are very, very good, and I'm sure they're going to bring us a lot of super good games, like very high quality. The top 3, especially on Division 1, I think is really something to look out for, with both EPG Frozen looking amazingly strong. Disgusting, I think they're also in top 3. I don't know if they are. No, 3K Blue and Disgusting, yeah, they're sitting in 3 and 4. So both Disgusting and 3K Blue. 3K Blue, a sister team to the 3K White in Division 2. Used to be Hoplita Esports, if that rings a bell for anyone. Have improved a lot as well, and they've actually got some new additions to their roster. So, and it seems to have worked out very well for them this season. They have been in playoffs before, but they never qualified for the Mythic Cup, and I talked with Januxa earlier today, and he said he definitely thinks they have a shot for it, and I can totally agree with him. Pepper My Lady, obviously, also a former Division S team, really bringing the pain in Division 1. Super strong team. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Obviously, also shout out to Diablo Needs Affection, who couldn't make it to the playoffs. So we're going to see Lynx Black take their spot instead.
And as we had a nice, good introduction to all the drama of the high stakes, high quality, high skill games of Division 1, we also have the stats to back that up, don't we, Karis?
We absolutely do, Narsha. And there's again, I have to say, this season the meta's been fairly consistent across the divisions. Here in the most picked heroes, you can see Greymane's just crept up a little, just gone slightly ahead of ETC. The higher we go in Heroes Lounge, the more Greymane seems to be getting picked up. But those bands, look, those are the same bands we've been seeing all evening: Zul, Rhaegar, and Anna. So the bands are very much focused on the same idea, not going up against that Bloodlust, not going up against that Zul, who has the monstrous double circ potential. And before his nerfs, he was very strong in the team fight as well. So Joanna's still so important for every team across all the divisions. So unsurprising to see Joanna there. The most picked maps, again, it's been the same across all the divisions. You've got the Infernal Shrines, the Battlefield of Eternity, and the Volsky. The only difference here in Division 1 is that, of course, Battlefield of Eternity has crept up to the top. Remember, these teams, the Mythic Championship is teams from Division 1. It started out 26 teams in Division 1, and of course, only 8 go through to these group stages. And of course, after that, 6 will go through to the Mythic Championship playoff finals.
Indeed, they will. And of course, I gotta have a small shout out for who let the dogs out. Woof, 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 with Greymane being the second most picked hero. That's something that I really like to see. And of course, as a shout out to all his fans in the chat, Hooray for X-Ray for having the biggest hero pool.
Yeah, absolutely. X-Ray does indeed win these every day, as the team used to be called. But yeah, brilliant performance from X-Ray. I mean, that's the thing with Division 1, of course. You see some of these really big name players as well, some of whom you will have seen in Division S or other top tournaments when they existed.
Well, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have a bunch of stats that has created a good backdrop for the Mythic Cup. And as Karis mentioned here, only the best teams from the normal league play will be drawn. They will be drawn into 2 groups of 4 teams each that will then play versus each other in a group stage format. The 3 best teams from those 2 groups will go on to a 6-team double elimination cup. That's also going to be very exciting to pay attention to over the next couple of weeks, as the Mythic Cup on the highest level of Heroes of the Storm esport in the world has to have its own special rules to make everything as exciting as possible. But we also need to know who are going to go up against each other. First, we're going to draw the first seeds from Pool 1, EPG Frozen and the 3K Blue.
Yeah, so as I said, EPG Frozen looking extremely strong here. They have a new addition to their roster compared to last season, where they had, I can't remember who they had tanking, but they have Wit this season coming out. Really, obviously, he's been showing some main tank Soul coming in, and also, obviously, I see chat making a great copy pasta about your role. You know, my kind of my signature hero trying to distract me, and they are very successful with it right now. But anyway, EPD Frozen with playing obviously his famous Johanna with Falling Sword instead of Blessed Shield. It's kind of a signature from him. And 3K Blue, who is obviously the former hub leader. And
do I remember correctly, they're Portuguese?
No, they're Spanish, I think.
Spanish, okay,
don't put my head on the block for it, but I'm pretty sure they're Spanish. Oh yeah, Death Knight, true, Kelvin, true. I'm sorry. Shout out to Death Knight, obviously, as well from EPG Frozen last season. Yeah, so I think that's it for those. I mean, obviously, Group B and C are going to be hard to play, but I think, like, especially EPG Frozen is probably also, I don't know if they're crowd favorite, but I think they're probably going to win again. They won last cup as well, but obviously a lot of teams have improved and could definitely beat them. We saw,
and both the 3K teams have made it into the playoffs too, so that should be very good for them. And I was cutting you off there, but the next team is Pep Milady that will share group with EPG Frozen.
Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, Pepper My Lady being, yeah, probably apart from Frozen, I think it's so hard with those top 5 teams, man. Also, Hype really really a good team. So I don't know. I mean, Group B is definitely going to be the group you don't want to end up in right now if you're one of the lower seeded teams.
Yeah, we'll see how they can avoid that as a disgusting. We'll go into Group C.
Yeah,
I've got a stat, by the way, that will please the chat about Irel.
Oh,
a stat
you do?
to please the chat, which is that Irel has got a 63.1% win rate in Division 1.
I mean, obviously, she's the best hero in the game, right? So
yeah.
How much of that was you, baby?
I don't know. Hopefully, hopefully to the positive side.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I thought you. Am I? Okay, I think I'm not caught right now. My sound is bugged, I think.
Your sound is completely fine, I think.
Okay, super.
Most likely.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like Disgusting, for instance, also getting new addition to the roster with Alvarez joining, the infamous mage player we all know and love or hate from Stone League, depending on if he's on our team or not. And it seems like it's been working out super well for Disgusting this season, with a little player swaps as well. And Hype going to Group B as well. Yeah, this Group B is gonna be very, very tough. Hype had a lot of new players joining as well. I think it's not official on the site yet, but I think I'm ending voice hot DK. I think Nox is joining them as the new support player, and MXD is taking over the spot of the DPS.
Wow.
But they have had quite a lot of role changes, but really, really strong roster with a lot of good synergy. Definitely performing very well on the macro level as well, and really great game understanding. I think they do also have a coach, and they sit like you can really see it when you play against them. Their replay and game understanding is just so good. So
definitely a team to look out for then.
Yes, definitely. And then we have Sneak Attack coming in, which is Sid's team, and I think they are seed 8, if I'm correct, or seed 7, or I'm checking. Yeah, they are seed 7. Okay, so Sneak Attack is really gonna have. I mean, they have their work cut out for them. They have went none of either what are they called, Sneak Attack or Dignitage, who is the 11th seed, not 11th, 8th seed, has beaten any of the other top teams. So
ouch.
And they have lost 0-2 to all of them, so it's gonna be super, super hard. But maybe they'll show up and really bring some upsets in the cup. That could be interesting.
Yeah, you learn from losing after all, and if they did that, they should have good chance to kick good from themselves in Group C, where they go up against 3K Blue and Disgusting, and then Group B with EPG, Frozen, Pepper, My Lady, and Hype, and then they had Dignitas.
Yeah, Dignitas, obviously. They're not the final team actually. Yeah, that's true. Because Lynx Black took the spot from what are they called, Diablo Needs Affection, since they couldn't play. So Dignitas going into Group B, and they also definitely have their work cut out for them. I think. I mean, been playing these teams myself. Yeah. That's gonna be super, super tough. And Lynx Black obviously going into Group C, which is probably the group that has an easier time, maybe bringing out some G-strats and winning those. So if you have like a good, or even just a good day, right? If you have a good day, every team is beatable, obviously.
And you mentioned the coach of Hype. I got it through my producer here. Literally, that it's Coffee from ANC that's actually coaching Hype.
Oh, damn! Fair enough. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, so he obviously went to Europe and are coaching them now, and it really shows, right? Like last season as well, I think they even beat EPG Frozen in the group, like in the playoff stage, right? In the group stage of the playoffs by 2-1, but then they lost the finals, which was Hype against EPG Frozen 0-3. So I mean that also shows, right? They do have the potential to win this cup as well. I think there are a lot of really good candidates here, but I think the top 5 teams are definitely. I mean, the margin of skill up to them, it's going to be very hard for the bottom 3 teams. But I think obviously they are top 8 still, so they can do it. I mean, They just need a good day, right?
Yeah, anything can of course happen. But what about you, Transparent? When you look at this, so of course we need to roll on to the polls, because we're also gonna have, of course, your vote out there for who you guys think will make it through. The instructions are on the screen right now, and then Transparent. Sorry.
Yeah, it's absolutely going to be a tough time for the teams. But fortunately, in the Mythic Cup, 3 teams do go through to that grand final. You get a large advantage if you are the top of your group. So Group B, with those 3 sort of top tier teams, are really going to be fighting for that winner's bracket advantage. And Group C means that we'll see a sneak attack. Snack attack, or Lynx Black possibly going through as well. So yeah, Group C is a really good group as well. But I think, yeah, as Baby Tudini was saying, the triple danger of Group B means that Dignitash are going to have their work cut out if they want to try and break in to the Mythic Cup, Mythic Championship finals.
Okay, let's just cut to the chase. Can Dignitash or Lynx Black make it out of the groups? Like, I mean, like once again, it's the 3 best teams from each group that goes into the double elimination bracket.
That's true. Sorry, maybe you start.
Dignitash actually did miss a week, unfortunately, due to some poor scheduling errors. So they actually were managed to qualify with only having 9 games played. So they still could be a team to really watch out for. Just not having that one game advantage means that they've been put back down into the bottom tier. So they still could be a really good team to watch out for.
And of course, we ask you guys who will win the Mythic Championship. And so far, it's Pepe, my lady, that has 29.6 of the votes, with EPG Frozen on second with 22. And 3K Blue with only 14.8%. What do you think, Baby Houdini? Do you think Pepe, my lady, can take it all like the people do?
I definitely do, yeah. They are a super, super strong team. Obviously, I play offlane, and I can only praise Rutu for being one of the best as well in Europe. Like, he is an amazing player. I've experienced it at firsthand, right? And the synergy in the team is just so on point. So 100% they are able to win the game, or win the cup.
This will, of course, be decided over the next couple of weeks. Do you have any final statements now that we have the groups ready and they're gonna start playing against each other?
Not anything, but good luck to most of you. And I'm sorry I couldn't be here this season, but next season maybe. Let's see what's gonna happen.
There's always a next season.
There's always a next season. And that goes out to you as well, Chad, Ryan. Just get on there, sign up. It's great fun. It's a great community. Like, we're having so much fun. It's so friendly. Like, you have mods able to help you 24/7. It is really a great community. So if you ever just had the thought of joining a competitive HOTS environment, I definitely say you sign up for Heroes Lounge next season. Even if you don't have a team, you can sign up as a free agent, and then the moderators are going to find a team for you. So there really isn't any excuse. If you want to try it, I think you should definitely give it a go.
We should really take a round on that, as we do every time, because there might be people out there that haven't discovered the amazingness that is the Heroes Lounge just yet. Of course, the Mythic Cup final will be on the 2nd of August, so mark it in your calendars. But as mentioned, the signups for the new season 13, are open from midnight. They close on the 9th of August, so you have some time. But as Baby Houdini mentioned, if you've ever considered doing anything like it, Heroes Lounge is definitely the place to be. You are very welcome, no matter how good you are in the game. And our Discord server is always a nice place to hang out. Transparent, what's your best reason for joining the Heroes Lounge?
Well, I hear that the EU Lounge Manager is incredibly handsome. That's just me. No, but also, yeah, it's a great fun, great community. You meet a lot of people, and as I say, there's a division. Just from a Division 2 point of view, there's sort of a lot of people. I've known many of the teams for a long time, and I think just becoming part of that, you sort of get to see the friendliness, and you sort of start speaking with people I had someone on my team who's a German was just speaking to one of the captains of the other team in Storm League, found out they were a fellow German, and now they've just sort of had a great little conversation between themselves just about Lounge and Heroes in general. So it's just a great way to meet people like-minded playing Heroes of the Storm.
Very nice words from you there. We have to ask Karis too. Karis, you've been around for a long while. What makes season 13 of the Heroes Lounge the season to sign up for the first time?
Well, I mean, as you say, I've been around for a while. I think I may have been playing since season 6 on and off, and I've been playing in free agent teams, and a range of kind of properly put together teams as well. And it is always top quality fun. It's always a competitive experience, and you do meet new people. You, in my case, I'm now on the board of Heroes Lounge, so it's become a slightly bigger part of my life as well. I also recommend that anyone who wants to get involved in casting, you should definitely give it a try, because we're always open to take new amateur casters, get people involved, and you can contact Samu, who, by the way, has done a phenomenal job producing today's draw show. You can contact Samu, our casting manager, if you want to get involved with casting. We help people get involved, and it's definitely something fun to try. But yeah, if you don't want to cast, just get playing and type !sign up in the chat and sign up for season 13.
Indeed, you should. Heroes Lounge is a great place to be with a lot of very nice people. Obviously, my first season was season 1, and they still keep me around for some reason. So, that's a nice group of guys in my eyes. We, of course, have to thank everyone that was involved today. Sergeant Johnny and Deadly Kitten, you guys did a great job as experts for the Rare Cup and the Epic Cup. Thanks to both of you. And of course, Transparent and Baby Houdini, I hope you guys had a good time here tonight and we treated you gently enough.
Definitely. Thanks for having us. I can only speak for myself, obviously, but it was such a great time. So thanks for having me, Nasha. And maybe I'll see you next season.
Yep, thank you very much, Nasha, for having me as well. It's been a fantastic, fun time here on the Draw Show.
One last thing.
Yes, please.
I have a shout out as well to Penelope for also helping making all this happen, and all the moderators sitting all in the back and helping, obviously arranging this. We're sitting here on camps talking, but Samo producing, Karis helping, Panay, a lot of these mods, and also just all the moderators and casters throughout the season that makes Heroes Lounge go around. So a big shout out to you. Thank you so much for making it happen.
And I also, of course, get inside information here that signups doesn't open at midnight. It's open right now. So what are you waiting for? Get out there and sign up for the next season. Karis, how have you enjoyed once again being our voice in the sky? And more importantly, did you wear clothes this time?
No, I didn't. It's been terribly hot, so I've just been evaporating my sweat into the ether that is my living room. The magic behind the scenes studios of Heroes Lounge. No, it's been absolutely delighted to participate in the draw show yet again. It's always great stuff, and as you point out, Samu's done a great job on the production, and it's just great to hear the insight from some of these players in the divisions about what they expect to see. And there's a lot of stories behind these teams, and that's the thing that I really take away from these draw shows is, we talked about how many teams have signed up for Heroes Lounge at the start of the season. There's 178, but behind that, there's that's a set of players. Each team is at least 5 players, so you're looking at around 1,000 players, 1,000 people forming part of the Heroes Lounge community, and they play games against each other week after week and build a community. And that's for me one of the strongest points about Heroes Lounge. I just want to ask our experts here, our expert analysts. I've got another quiz. Because there are 6 heroes that did not win a single game in Division 1 this season, can you name any of them?
Probius.
Probius is one.
Oh, Probius was actually played? Okay.
Played once, lost it.
What tank could it be?
Valera.
Stitches, maybe?
Stitches? No, Stitches has done well, I think. I can't actually see that. He's got 50% win rate, Stitches. Don't doubt the large lad.
Fair enough. I have no idea. Maybe Alexstrasza could be in there. I personally love playing with her, but I know she's had a tough time lately.
Transparent, any guesses?
Diva?
Diva is a correct answer.
Yeah.
It's just all the
Unfortunate.
specialist heroes, aren't it?
It is literally all the specialist heroes, plus Butcher.
Plus Butcher.
Oh, poor Butcher.
No blank specials this
And of
season.
course, yeah, Medivh excluded.
Yeah, Medivh excluded.
Once again, we have managed to fill a little bit over 1.5 hour of your time on a Sunday evening with the 10th or 11th traditional draw show. As we are finishing out this one for season 12, we have a lot of really, really good stuff to look forward to in the week that is coming, as we have been described over the last couple of hours. Remember to check out heroeslounge.gg for all the information and to see all the dates that we've been talking about today, signups open and close, and the group stages and all the finals and all that good stuff, because you should not miss any of it. Remember to check out the calendar for what gets casted where and when, and it is noticeable when Karis mentioned this now as a guy that has been around since since I played in the beta. I thought Heroes Lounge was really cool in the start. It's still, of course, and then but with Blizzard doing their thing and all that stuff, it's really, really fun to see such an alive, such a sprawling, enthusiastic community around the game that, for better or worse, is pretty close to my heart. It's really great to see. Thanks so much for all of you guys that keeps all the wheels running on all the levels that has to do with the Heroes Lounge. And of course, a big, big, big thank you to all you beautiful people that have spent this time with us as we're closing the draw show for the season. We're looking forward to the next weeks of Heroes Esports on this very Twitch channel and many others, and hope to see you all in the chat there. Don't forget to sign up before the next season. And once again, super special thanks to Samu that popped his producer cherry on this show. Great work in all accounts. And of course, Penelope from doing all the administrative stuff, putting us together and getting the guests and making sure we behave the way we are supposed to. Thanks to everyone that's been watching. I see you on the next draw show. Have a good night.